Hey, what's good, everyone? In today's session, I get it all in, and my opponent has pocket aces. Alright, let's see if I hold up.
I belong to you.
I belong to you.
Do just what you want.
Today, I go play the 1-2 no limit game at the final table. I buy in for the max $400. I get my chips and head to the table. Starting out the session, we play short-handed and I straddle $5 on the button. 5 players limp in, and I look down at ace-queen offsuit and raise it to $40. The small blind goes all in for 42. The cutoff calls, and so do I, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is 7 king queen with 2 hearts. I got middle pair. Action checks to me, and I bet out $30, and the cutoff quickly folds. Heads up to a run out, the turn is a king of diamonds, and the river is the 10 of spades. I show my ace queen, and we're good. Small blind shows ace 9 for ace high, and we take down the pot. Hey, starting off the session with a good sized pot. I like it. Let's go. A whole orbit goes around, and I straddle on the button again for $5. 3 players limp in, and I look down at king deuce of clubs. I check, and we go 4 ways to a flop. The flop's a pretty good one. Deuce king 10 offsuit, and I flop 2 pair. The small blind leads out for $10. The big blind calls, and when action's on me, I get a little sneaky here and just make the call. There's no real draws out there except for maybe jack queen, and I am in position. 3 ways to a turn, which is the 3 diamonds. The small blind leads out again, this time for $30. The big blind folds, and again, I just make the flat call. I want to keep all his bluffs in range. The river is a 7 of clubs, which shouldn't change anything. He leads out again for a 3rd time, this time for $50. Music to my ears. I go with a small raise, 125. The small blind thinks it over for about 30 seconds before making the fold. And just like that, I take down another one. Another orbit goes around, and I straddle $5 again on the button. 5 players limp in, and I look down at ace jack offsuit and raise it to $25. Everyone calls. Alright, familiar pot, I like it. The flop is 5-7 queen with 2 hearts. I don't have much here except for backdoor flush draw and straight draws, but that's asking for a lot. Action checks to me, and this is where I think I make the mistake. I bet $55 into a field of like 30. I should have checked here in position. With my bet here, I was just trying to represent a hand like ace queen or an overpair. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a turn. The turn is a 6 of hearts, now completing the front door flush and a 3-liner to a straight. This time, C2 leads out for $100, and I make the quick fold. I do have the jack of hearts, but that's just a reach. The very next hand, I look down at 9-10 of spades, and under the gun +1 raise it to $7. When action's on me, I 3-bet it to 21. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is 10-8 queen all clubs. Dang, wrong suit. I hate when that happens. Action checks to me, and I c-bet for $20. Only 1 player calls, and we go heads up to a turn. The turn is the ace of clubs, now putting 4 clubs out there for a flush. He checks it over me again. I don't need to bet big here. I size up just a little bit to put pressure on any pair or even 2 pairs. So I bet $30, try and make it look like a value bet. And after some thinking, my opponent folds. Whew, alright, got this little bluff through. Just a couple hands later, there's a $5 straddle on the button, and I look down at ace 9 of hearts. The big blind raises it to $10, and when action's on me, I 3-bet it to 30. 4 players call, and we go 5 ways to a flop. The flop is 10 king 3 all offsuit. Action checks on me, and this board does hit my 3-betting range. I could have aces, kings, ace king, and even pocket 10s. I make the mistake here and check. I need to be c-betting here and representing my range, especially since I only have ace high. Action checks through, and the turn pairs the board with another 3. This time when action checks me, I bet out $50 and only the middle position calls. The river is the 4 of spades. Action checks to me again, and this time I bet out $100. My opponent tanks for a whole minute before making the call. I tell him he's good, and my opponent shows ace jack for ace high and takes down the pot. Wow, no respect here. Okay, I see you. Nice call, but I'm not gonna lie, this put me on tilt. Just a few hands later, when the button gets to me, I straddle $10 on the button. 3 players limp in, and then I look down at deuce 4 diamonds. I decide just to check and see a flop. 4 ways to a flop, which is just alright. Ace 3-5 all offsuit, and I flop the nuts. Action checks all the way to me, and I decide to slow play this one. I want to let my opponents catch up or attempt to bluff at it. The turn is the king of diamonds, now giving me a flush draw as well. I wasn't sure how I played this one at the time, until the small blind leads out for $30, and then seat 4 rips it all in for $107. Okay, maybe I did play this hand alright. I Hollywood for about 30 seconds before making the flat call. I want to give the small blind a good price to call and don't want to raise him and get him out of the pot. I know, my ass is greedy. And what do you know? The small blind goes all in for less, $105. 3 ways to a river, which is a deuce of spades. I quickly show my cards, no need a slow roll here. The small blind shows ace 9 for top pair, and seat 4 mucks his cards. 2-4 baby, Kobe. I straddle $5 under the gun, 1 player limps in, and then the cutoff raises it to $16. Everyone folds, and when action's on me, I look down at pocket jacks and 3-bet it to $60. When it gets back to the cutoff, he 4-bets it to $160. You never want to see a 4-bet when you got pocket jacks, especially in a 1-2 game. I'm really only putting him on a few hands like pocket queens, kings, aces, maybe ace king, maybe. Our stacks are not that deep, so I should be making this laydown, but folding is no fun. So I make the call and we go heads up to a flop. The flop is 8-6-8 with 2 spades. I check it over to him, and he snap puts me all in. I tank for about a minute, and I just don't see how I could call. My gut read again is he's got queens, kings, or aces. I don't think he's shoving with ace king here, so I ended up making the fold. I even showed my jacks and asked if he wanted to show for the vlog, but he said, no. But I know you had me beat. Nice hand. The very next hand, and I'm on tilt. I'm in the big blind and look down at king 6 of clubs. A few players limp in, and I raise it to $20. The same player we just went up against calls, and we go heads up to a flop. The flop is 3-9 ace with 2 spades, and I break that one completely. First action's on me, and I c-bet it for $20, and he quickly makes the call. The turn is the queen of spades, now completing the front door flush. Again, I am on tilt, so I go all in with just king high, and he snap folds. And just one time, I show him the bluff. Last hand of the night, and I straddle $5 under the gun. A few players limp in, and I look down at 10-8 of spades and raise it to $30. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is not too bad. Ace 6-7 with 2 diamonds, and I need a 9 for my gutter straight. Action checks to me, and this board hits my range. I have ace X kind of hands like ace 10 through ace king, so I size up a bit trying to represent one of those kind of hands. I bet out $40, and only 1 player makes the call, and we go heads up to a turn. The turn is the 8 of clubs, now giving me a pair. First action's on me, and I check. I'm definitely putting him on some sort of ace X kind of hand, maybe even diamonds. And this person is old, and old people never bluff. The river is an action card for sure. The 8 of diamonds now giving me trips, but it does complete the front door flush. I felt at the moment if he had a flush draw, he would have bet the turn being in position, and he just flat called my $5 under the gun, and then just flat called again my $30 pre-flop. So I want to get max value from any ace X kind of hands. I bet out $100, only leaving like $40 behind. He snap puts my ass all in. I snap call. I mean, I only have about $40 behind, and I'm on tilt, so that doesn't help. And very surprisingly, my opponent shows the boys Aaron for a full house. Yup, I think that's gonna do it. Wow. Definitely didn't put him on that, especially when he didn't 3-bet me pre-flop. Nice hand. So sick. But just like that, I get stacked and call it a night. Alright, just got done with the session. Started off hot tonight. Ran up a few stacks. And then I ran into a few coolers, tried a couple of big bluffs, and then just didn't run to get through. So I was in for the game for 400 and out for 0. So thanks for watching and see you on the river. Just not tonight.